Hello and welcome back to Seed and Sparrow Homestead. My name is Kelsey. If this is your first time watching, again, I apologize for my voice. It's still not back to what it normally is. Still struggling with some respiratory issues. But today we're going to talk about tinctures. So I had promised that I was going to bring you guys along as I build my home apothecary. This is something that is still fairly new to me. I started researching herbalism quite a few years ago, and I have been adding it in slowly, doing research on my own for my family. My husband and I recently took an herbalism course. We've started foraging, and we really want to get a well-prepared apothecary here for our homestead. So full disclaimer, I am no master herbalist. I'm just the keeper of my home, wanting to do best by my family, searching for the most natural aids to assist in my family's health, keeping them healthy and solving the small problems. There's always a time and a place for modern medicine, but I think herbalism is something that everyone should know something about. There's medicine all around us outside, right outside the back door. There's so much to be used that can help us rather than using the over-the-counter stuff, that comes with a list of side effects and issues. So this is just one of my first steps that I'm doing. I've slowly been building to my herb stores, and today we're going to make some tinctures, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. These are just a few that I am starting with. These are things that are going to help my family, some of our needs, so you're going to have to do your own research on different herbs and what will be best for your family. I always say to do your own research, no matter what the topic is, no matter who you're listening to. I believe in informed decisions. So as the keeper of your home, it is your job to get into the books, do the research, and see what is going to work best for your family. I cannot make that decision for you. So let's have a quick chat about tinctures. What is a tincture? A tincture is a concentrated extract of an herb. They are prepared with alcohol as the menstruum or the solvent, but you can use things like apple cider vinegar or vegetable glycerin if you would prefer not using alcohol, although it will not be as potent as if the alcohol was extracting those herbal properties. So you might want to use glycerin, which would actually be considered a glycerite, then that process is just a wee bit different, and we're not going to discuss that today. We're just focusing on the tinctures made with alcohol. But a glycerite would be more ideal for a child. It obviously doesn't have the alcohol content, and it's a bit sweeter, so it's more palatable. But do your own research, do what you feel comfortable with. I don't have any issues giving my kids a little bit of a tincture because it is such a small amount. Now, they are pretty potent. You have to administer them with care and sparingly, but it's really such a small amount, and you can dilute them in some water, in some juice to give them to your children if you'd want to. You could also dilute it in some hot water and let it sit for a little while and allow some of that alcohol content to, evaporate off. Once a tincture is made, it is medicine ready to go. It's simple, it's easy to administer, and it gets right into your body to start doing its work. A lot of these herbs I also use in tea form, but like when I'm in a hurry and I just need something quick, tinctures are my go-to. It's super easy to take along with you. I can keep it in my purse. If I am having issues with my stomach, you guys know I have some digestive issues, I can just pull out a tincture or like a bitter. A bitter is basically a tincture with a certain type of herb called a bitter. That stuff is just really easy to use, especially like when I'm on the go and I'm having some tummy issues. So I really like tinctures. I'm going to be making a whole bunch of them and adding them to my apothecary. I am right now on the hunt for the perfect antique hutch to use. I've been scouring the Facebook Marketplace looking for the perfect one. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm getting some things ready, although I'm not doing too much because I just don't have the place to put them. So today we're going to work on 5 different tinctures. I have some herbs that I have from my garden, and I also purchased some herbs in bulk online. I just used Amazon. The 3 companies I look to purchase from The most would be Star West Botanicals, Frontier Co-op, and then I think it's Pacific Botanicals, I think is what it's called. I can list them down in the description. And I always source organic herbs. I don't want them to be sprayed with anything. That kind of negates the purpose here. So always source organic herbs. So today I am using passion flower. I'm using some tulsi or holy basil, some lemon balm, some mullein leaf, and some oat tops or oat straw. So I'll go over what those do in a little bit when I go to make them, but first let's talk about the type of alcohol that you need to use.
Okay, my friend, it has been a few days, and now I'm going back to add the voiceover here, and I'm sure you can hear I am more congested, so I apologize. This is what you have to listen to. So for alcohol, I am using vodka. I am using 100 proof vodka. You want to use at least 80 proof. So how that works is you divide that number in half to get your alcohol percentage. So 100 proof would be 50% alcohol. This is the only brand I could find local to me, so this is what I got. But if you can source mid to higher quality alcohol, I would recommend that.
So a few more things about tinctures. Number one, a tincture is a great way to get the not so good tasting herbs into your body. If it is a bitter herb, just has a yucky flavor, you might not want to make that into a tea or an infusion or a decoction. You're going to want to get that into you as fast as possible so you can still get the benefits without having the yucky taste. So tincture is the way to go for those herbs. And any part of the usable herb can be made into a tincture. So you could use the berries, the seeds, the flowers, the leaves, the stem, the roots. It all works for the making of a tincture. So when made properly, an alcohol tincture can last up to 5 years. If you're using glycerin and making a glycerite, that's not going to last as long, maybe like a year, maybe 2 tops there. So alcohol is definitely going to preserve it longer. So in preparing the tincture for its extraction process, I'm just going to make it in these are pint-sized mason jars. I'm not going to make large amounts of these tinctures. When I go to store them, I'll store them in amber bottles long term, but this is fine for making them. I am just going to put them into a cool, dark, dry place while they are doing their thing. So now I am using all dried herbs today, and there might be some different conclusions on this, but generally if you're using dry herbs, you're going to do a 1-to-4 ratio. So quarter of this full with dry herbs, and then you're going to top it off with your menstruum of choice, the solvent, which is the alcohol here. If you're using fresh herbs, they're going to be fluffier, have more body to them. You're going to do a 1-to-2. So you're going to do half the fresh herbs, and then you're going to top it off with the alcohol. So I'm going to get my herbs here into my jars, and we're going to top them off.
So like I said, I'm using dried herbs today. If you are going to be using fresh herbs, like if you're making things when the garden is going, you want to make sure to wash them really well and also dry them really well. Naturally, they're going to have more water content being fresh, but you don't want to add any extra water content. That could compromise your tincture, the integrity of it, and it could spoil. So for each of these herbs here today, I'm going to give you guys a brief overview, just some of the highlights and the ways I'm hoping to use these. This is not comprehensive overview on these herbs. There's so much more to learn about them. I'm just hoping to plant a seed that you guys will take and nurture and water and grow. Do the research, not just a Google search. Get in there, find good sources, good books, and good herbalists who know their stuff. 2 of my favorite herbalists that I trust would be Amy Fuel and Kaylee Richardson. They both have YouTube channels, so I will link them down in the description for you guys. I'll also link some good books to get started with. So like I said, I am using dry herbs here, so I'm doing the 1-to-4 ratio. I filled my jar 1/4 full, and I am topping it off with the vodka. Okay, so first herb we're going over is lemon balm. I grow this outside. It is quite invasive. It's a part of the mint family, so it would be best if you grow it in a pot. I have it spring up all over my yard though, so be aware that can happen. And I just want to make note of this here quick. If you are looking to source any of these herbs, whether that be online dried, or if you're looking for seeds or plant starts, make sure you search for the scientific name. Some of them may have different varieties that are similar, but one it may be medicinal and the other not. This also makes a lovely tea. I include it in some tea blends, but my main hope for this is to aid in digestion and just help provide a sense of calm, lessen anxiety, and promote restful sleep. Once I get the lid on there, I like to label this with what is in it, the type of alcohol used, the herb, what ratio was used, and the date. The next herb we're working with is tulsi, which is also known as holy basil, so it is in the basil family. I grew this a few years back from seed, and now it just pops up all over my yard, and I welcome it because it is such a powerhouse. You can see it has so many great uses. It is absolutely lovely in tea form. I like it cold, actually, throughout the summer months. It's great. I drink it all of the time. Tulsi is an adaptogen, so it is great for stress management, but also promotes a whole bunch of other things, as you can see here. This is an herb that I am always going to grow in my garden, and the pollinators love it. They go nuts over the flowers. It adds a lot of beauty, and it smells incredible. The next herb we're working with is passion flower. This one is new to me. I actually just ordered some seeds in hopes of growing it in my garden this year over one of my trellises. It is absolutely stunning, and it has some great sedative-like effects. Mild, but it's great in calming. Just think calm. Helps ease anxiety, insomnia, and muscle spasms, among other things. So I'm excited to get this one started. We're going to discuss everything I'm growing in my medicinal garden soon. I'm getting that plan together for you all. The next herb we're discussing is mullein leaf. So mullein grows wild. It grows wild a lot around here. You can find it on every road. I do have it purposely growing in my backyard for ease of access, but I could easily go forage it pretty much anywhere around here. So mullein is actually an expectorant. I have been taking this in tea form for the last 2 weeks to help with this respiratory virus I've got going on. I've also been taking it in combination with marshmallow root, which is a demulcent. So it is going to help soothe and coat, those mucous membranes. It actually has mucilage in it. So that's a great combination I've been doing right now. So this is just great for respiratory congestion and coughs. Also great for earaches on little ones. If you make an oil infusion with mullein and garlic and apply it to the ear. Really an awesome herb, and I will always grow it in my garden. Our next herb is oat straw. So this one is a fantastic as just a restorative, nutritive herb. It's super rich in nutrients, so it's great for people like myself who are struggling with nutritional deficiencies. It's really high in A, B, and E vitamins, great with minerals like iron, zinc, manganese, magnesium. It will also soothe and protect mucous membranes like the respiratory system or the digestive tract, which are two things I'm dealing with right now. So I am excited to start using this tincture.
Okay, my friend, you're gonna hear Grant over there. He's playing, I think he's making some train tracks. But that's all there is to it. It's super easy peasy, I promise you. Nothing hard about it. So these guys are gonna sit now for 4 to 6 weeks in a cool, dark location. And then once they're done, I'm gonna strain them off really well with like a double-lined cheesecloth over a strainer. And you wanna make sure to get all of the liquid out of those leaves, get all the good stuff out. And then I'll store some of it into these little amber glass bottles with a dropper top for dosage. But like always, you do your own research. I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a master herbalist, but you can do this research for yourself. Always double check, you know, contraindications, any cautions that you should take. Sometimes there's cautions if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Sometimes something could, you know, not be advisable to take if you're on certain medication. Always check those things out. And sometimes, you know, if you struggle really bad with allergies and something is in a certain plant family that you have issues with, maybe you don't want to take that one. So always do your research, but I promise you this is not hard. It's really easy to get your own home apothecary started. So I hope this was helpful. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. As I continue to build my home apothecary, I'll bring you all along. I'm gonna be making some salves here soon, some ointments. We're gonna do some soap making as well. And then as I get my hutch here, hopefully soon, once I have my apothecary built, I'll take you on a little tour of it, show you what I have stored in there. So thanks for coming along with me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. You all have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.